And then to crown it all, we have Warner TV. Warner TV in 10 hours got 31,000 hits. In 10 hours. So therefore, thanks for having me here tonight. And of course, I know many of you who are listening, not who are here, who are listening, would have thought I wouldn't be here. You hear you say? Chaguanas page, 78,000 hits. Well, instead of 2 nights, Sunil, I want to make a week. Because Gavin Nicholas, but that's my name. If I put the accent on the A, it's not my fault. Gavin Nicholas does not know what he did now. I'll tell you what just now. He doesn't know what he did. But I'll tell you something also. If you see me without any ring, I have no beer, I have no watch, it's because it's still in the bag from the prison. Because in the prison, you can't carry them things inside. And therefore, it's still in the prison bag. But I had to hustle to come here, so I forgot to put it on. But my friends, I want to tell you, it is times like now, you know who your friends are. Yes. And let me tell you something. Before I continue, I want to especially thank the prison officers at the Royal Jail. I want to thank Deputy Commissioner of Prisons, Ronald Morgan. I want to thank Superintendent Mohammed. I want to thank Budu, Mahabir, and all these guys in the infirmary. All those guys. Believe you me, this government has allowed the Royal Jail to be in shambles, to be worst place possible, but the service they give you was like Hyatt. So these guys there, their heart is in the right place. I say thanks to them because I had a very good night last night, a very good day today. But I tell you, this advice is in preparation for those guys on the government side who won't spend one night. Those guys on the government side, in 3 months' time, they go in there too, but not for one night. Not for one night. So I'm saying, therefore, it is times like these, you know who your friends are. And I got calls from all over the world. From all over South Africa, to Russia, to Finland, to France, you name it. I mean, could you please help me? No, please. So I got, of course, I tell you, that I got calls from all over. From all over. But you know something? Of all the calls I get, I want to tell you, first of all, I appreciate all the calls I got. All the WhatsApp, all the text messages, I appreciated them. But 2 calls I got that struck me the most. Well, Blatter, you crazy or what? I comment to him just now. BBC wait. 2 calls I got that touched me, not really me, because it got my wife, that touched me really, from Mr. and Mrs. Basdeo Pandey. And that includes Mikela Pandey. And also, several times, from Winston Dukaran and his wife. So I said, look, these are the guys who I tell you stood up in time of need. And you know who your friends are. I saw pictures today in papers, Pat crying on his shoulder, Lawrence and so on, half naked, people bawling and crying. I say, oh, don't cry. Let us take this and turn it around. Turn it around. Because the fact is, they thought that this would have broken us. What they failed to understand, as Rika has said, is it's not a one-man party. Because last night in Grandy, you all had a fantastic meeting. Fantastic meeting. I want to tell the whole team, thanks very much. Because Jack Warner wasn't there. He was in jail. He was in jail. And I tell you something, I see some people in the media saying all kinds of things about Jack Warner. Oh, Papa, I tell you, you name it, they have said it. One TV station carried the news until 8:30. Jack Warner. The only person that didn't call him to ask about Jack Warner was God. Jack Warner. I said, go ahead. And I was seeing this while in prison, because the guys were treating me very well. Huh? When you're in the infirmary, there's a TV there. I was in the infirmary, I was sick. Right? I was sick. Right? They thought, Nicholas thought, that I'd be shackled and so on. I was in the infirmary. And that is where other people have gone. And there are certain persons who have gone there. I make the point to you tonight that making jail these days seems to be the mark of honor, Yeah. Several great men who I know make jail. I know, of course, Mr. Pandey is a great man. He made jail longer than me, but he's a great man. Nelson Mandela made jail. Indira Gandhi made jail. Castro made jail. So who is Jack Warner? Who is Jack Warner? But what is sad is what I make jail for. That is sad. I know what is sad about it. Let me tell you this tonight. I have been in FIFA for 30 consecutive years. In China, where China has almost 2 billion people, there never has been a Chinese that spent 30 consecutive years in FIFA. I have. In India, 1.4 billion people, there never has been anybody spent 30 consecutive years. I have. In the USA, 300 million people, same thing. But to add further, of those 30 years, for 50 years more or less, I was the FIFA vice president. I was a heartbeat away from Blatter. And therefore, I'm saying to you, in China's whole history, 2 billion people, there never was one person in China a vice president of FIFA. In this country of 1.3 million people, I was. In India, 1.4 billion people, not once was there a person there who's a vice president of FIFA. In this country of 1.2 million people, I was. In the USA, 300 million people, they go on the moon, they connect on the stars. They never had a FIFA vice president. In this country, I was one. So I expect to have some people outside this country who would envy me. But what I never expected, that there are those people inside the country who would have hated me more. And in this country, I've realized there are persons in this country and in the government who hate Jack Warner to the point of saying, let me imprison him. What have I done? What have I done? I have seen where I have been charged. I have been charged by the USA for crimes committed in Zurich. In Zurich. FIFA charged me, no? FIFA charged me. But US charged me. And the fact is the charge came down here. And in 15 minutes, Nicholas signed it. He never even asked me 1 minute to come and say, what's the problem here? He never even asked if there is any evidence for the charge. But he signed to extradite me. It took him 15 minutes to do that. After speaking with Kamala and Anand, it took him 3 months to sign. It took the AG 3 months to sign for Ish and Steve. Felicia and Steve, who they allege stole money from this country, took them 3 months. For me, who they allege stole money from FIFA in Zurich, he signed right away. Right away. The point I want to make to you, something has to be wrong. But worse yet, even after he signed to send me out of the country to the US in chains and so on, he then had in the court, you heard Reka, in the court, all his lawyers, the same aged lawyers, Gerald Ramdeen, Jack Dave Singh and these guys, in court. Up to then, he didn't tell me a single word. If we didn't have our own intelligence, we would never have known. And we rushed, of course, to the court with the best lawyers in the land. Best in the land. Fayed Hussein, his team, Rishi and Anil. We had Reka there. We had Scotland. And they, of course, were able to get me, to get bail, to be here with you tonight. If Nicholas had his way, I wouldn't be here at all. And that is why it's so unfortunate that Keith Rowley could say what he has said. Because the fact is, all this is part of a plan. Get rid of Rowley, finish that. Get rid of Chaguanas, finish that. And then you call the election date. That's the plan. And I am surprised that Keith didn't understand that when he spoke the nonsense he spoke about in the Express. You see, didn't understand it. You see, my friends, what have I done wrong? What have I accused me for? Let me tell you what I've done. In the first case, you have to understand, in my life, I have had highs and I've had lows. Marriage, for me, was a high. I'm still high. Having won Chaguanas West 3 times, that was a high. But there are some lows also, and one of the lows was last Wednesday, when I had to go to surrender myself to the police, to go to court. I see a fellow say how my shoulders were drooped, I was alone on the bench, how I think. They say how I eat sardine and bread. The last sardine I saw was about 5 months ago in my arrow. I never eat sardine and bread. They say how in a hospital, and St. Clair Medical Hospital. They say how I eat, of course, cocoa. I drink cocoa tea. All they gave me what I asked for, they gave me some garlic tea for my pressure. Which cocoa tea? But the fact is they started to demonize Chaguanas. Having killed Rowley, go to Chaguanas, and Rowley didn't see that. What have I done, friends? Friends, let's face it. We are, up to now, the smallest country in the world to have ever been able to qualify for a World Cup final. And that was done under me. They could run, they could hide. That was done under me. What the point is this? They had, of course, 2 things for the World Cup, 2018, 2022. 2018, England, among others, bid for it. 22, USA, among others, bid for it. England lost the bid to Russia, who many felt had never hosted a World Cup and should give it to Russia. You kill me for that? The USA wanted 2022. Many felt that it's time we move the axis from being Europe and America, American Europe, and give it to a small country, a Muslim country, an Arabic country. What is wrong with that? Why is it we have to put pressure on small countries? Because the fact is this: if we put pressure on small countries, we wouldn't have qualified. And the only person to understand the role of a small country in World Cup football, I did. And therefore, I understand Qatar's position. But the US believe that they have some divine right. Some divine right to everything. The answer is no. They may have divine right to Nicholas. And then now, they put some charges on me, but I don't know nothing about. They never asked me once. They never called me once. Them, no Nicholas. Not once they call me. Charges against me. Conspiracy this, where fraud tapping. I, Chaguanas, know nothing about those charges. Nothing about charges. And therefore, what our lawyers have done is to ask them to prove it. Come here and prove it. But since Nicholas was so quick to send me to the U.S. for trial, how the hell he can ask the U.S. to send Calderhat back here? How the hell, after 5 years, why can't he ask the U.S. to send back Calderhat here? Calderhat spent our money. And according to him, I spent FIFA money. But he sent me back to the States. But Calderhat staying in Miami. Something has to be wrong. Has to be wrong. And I'm telling you, this is the sad part of this country. And the sad part also is that too many persons believe it. I read some people like Suraj. He's not surprised. I want to tell Suraj, I too, Suraj, not surprised either. About Suraj. But if Kamala believes that she could put those months of garbage she has as ministers back for election, I wish her luck. I wish her luck. At the end of the day, my friends, the point is, I said that we, as a party, have to make sure that we are neither Indian nor African. Our party must be for all races. We also said, at the end of the day, that our party must be judged on representation, action, and performance. And they could do what they want. There is not a single, and I'm not boasting, but there's not a single member of parliament who could talk about better performance than I can. They could do what they want. There is not one of them who could talk about representation better than I can. And the same goes for action. In the last 4 weeks, the way this government moving, you will feel that 4 weeks equal to 5 years. They're building bridge, they're turning sod, they're opening hospital, they're hosting a place on Johnny Lai Road, the Akbar Road, they're hosting to build a ministry. They're buying ship. I mean, you name it, they're doing it all in 4 weeks. All in 4 weeks, you know. For 5 years, they did nothing. And they're hoping to of course, fool people. And next week, they go to Parliament to pass a bill to get more money to pay public servants the back pay. Because they believe if they do that, they'll win the election. No, see, people stupid. We said before again and again, that there shall be no government in this country without the ILP. When I was very depressed yesterday, I was depressed because I have never been in jail in my life. And I mean, Kamala then sent me there to break me. And I was saying to myself, look, I might be a liability on the party. So I told Indra called for me after this meeting, an emergency executive committee meeting. Let me go and tell them that they have to find a new leader. Well, I tell you something, Indra, I never told her that. I ain't going nowhere. And I'm taking them head on. Today we in Chaguanas East. Tomorrow we all over the country. You name it, we shall be there. And I want to tell Kamala, that as of tonight, the gloves are off. Kamala, having jailed me, as of tonight, the gloves are off. And if Kamala has a soft chin, that's her business. But what I will do, I decided, everything I have against Kamala, I'll bring it out. I have kept it back too long. And I will bring it out, but not tonight. I've decided that I shall make a tape and give to 4 persons. Because you see, you could never tell. Tomorrow Jack is here, and tomorrow Jack might be down below. The way they're going, desperate, eh? Very desperate. And of course, Marlon and them fellas have eyes back at the head. Right? But the fact is this, I feel threatened. Honestly, my life feels threatened. I hate to say that to you, but my life feels threatened. But I will not relent. So I'll make 4 copies, 4 video. I'll give it to 4 lawyers. 4 lawyers. I'll give it 1 to a P&M lawyer, 1 to an ILP lawyer, 1 to an MSJ lawyer, and 1 to my lawyer. That in the event of death, before I bust the mark, I say bust it. Because the time has come when the gloves must be off for Kamala. I saw tonight somebody says that Kamala said that she never, that I never financed her in 2010. Kamala said that I never helped her financially in 2010. And 95% of the people say she lied. And I'll tell you something, she lied. But what I will do, I will tell Kamala, before I tell her what I did for her, I'll tell Kamala, all the contractors I went with her to collect money 2010. And when I felt so obscene in one case, I walked out and Stacy went in. But again, we keeping it clean, not tonight. And I really don't want to also upset Mrs. One either. Because the fact is, I say again to you, all gloves are off. I've remained silent for too long. And because of that, they believe, of course, they could walk over me. And if Keith Rowley believe that his being put out of parliament is a joke, I'm saying to him, that was part of a plan. And if he doesn't understand that what they did me, putting me in jail yesterday, part of a plan. So for him to talk, nonsense he talked about in the Express, I was disappointed. But then again, that is Keith Rowley. Right? So my friends, as I'm here tonight, I tell you, Jack is alive and kicking. Jack wants to tell you that he will be with you to the end. My past has been grim and brutal because of Kamala and the government. My present is assured because of you. And the future is most definite based on the collective efforts of all of us. I therefore thank you tonight. I want to tell you also that tomorrow night at 7 p.m. we have our Indian Arrival Day at Gaston Court, beginning from 7 p.m. Gaston Court, 7 p.m. tomorrow night. They thought I would be in jail and missed that. But of course, tomorrow I'll be there also. And the show goes on from next week. And from June, no, I don't know date. Some say June 5th. No date. From June, we're taking public meetings. BBC, you coming back in June? In June? Canada, you come back in June? Because from June, it's fire start. All gloves are off. One last point. If I have been in FIFA for 30 years, and I thief all FIFA money for 30 years, as crooked and corrupt and so on, who gave me the money? Who gave me? And how come he charge? Why is it, of course, only third world countries are charged? Ask yourself, why is it that only third world countries? And I'm telling you guys, this is much bigger than you think. Today, the USA is asking the FIFA to, of course, disappoint Russia and take Russia's place. She has Putin must lie down and play dead and give USA the World Cup asking for that. They're killing Qatar to take it to 2022. I am telling you, we here are too simple. This issue is much bigger than you think. And all this issue, you have small Chaguanas from a country of 1.3 million people, from Rio Claro, a speck of dust. He, of course, for 30 years was holding the reign of power in FIFA. I tell you this, after 4 years, if they still can't forget Chaguanas, then something wrong. I thank you.